And clients often ask us if we have a checklist for end-of-life planning.
It very much depends on people's circumstances. So I don't think there's going to be one checklist going to meet everyone's requirements.
So our main categories, though, we said, is think about finances. So that might be inheritance tax planning, keeping a list of assets and savings.
Yes, passwords. Also very important now, day and age, not just, that you've got these accounts, but how to actually access them as well.
Because much information is held online now, isn't it? So bank accounts are paperless often. If you aren't able to access their emails, you may be completely oblivious of bank accounts held and statements being sent electronically. So keeping a list is very important.
Absolutely.
I think it also helps the executor carry out a more efficient role when you've passed away.
Yes, and that will only also help with the speed of getting the grant of probate, to enable the executors to do their job and for the estate to be administrated smoothly.
Because other assets and other documents that would speed up the process would include what sort of documents might an executor need? What would be useful to you if you were doing probate?
So on the finance side, as you say, the inheritance tax planning and all that stuff is great for preparing. But also it's good to prepare so that the executors, you're helping the executors, and that's something you can do and during your lifetime. So list of your financial assets, list of the gifts that you've made. That is one thing that we're often talking to our clients about. The executors would be required to list all the gifts that you made in the last 7 years.
And could they keep that as a simple spreadsheet, a simple table? It doesn't have to be anything technical about that.
Nothing's technical, pen and paper.
So what information? Sort of date,
amount,
who the gift's being given to, and the amount.
Yeah, as simple as that. And then the executors will be able to work with their advisors and look at the exemptions and so forth. So that's very key.
Because when you've passed away, it would be the executors that take over effectively your finances and distributing those in accordance with your will. People often ask how executors stand up against attorneys. But obviously, when you've got a power of attorney, that appointment passes away with you. So you have an attorney all the way up until you've passed away, and then after your death, control effectively is handed over to the executor, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. And they might be the same person.
Yes,
but their appointment is under different requirements and different responsibilities. One's the lifetime, the executors is post-death. So yes, that's part of the planning financially.
So financially, that's good. Legally, the sort of documents they might want to put into somewhere safe is powers of attorney, wills, as you say, property deeds or anything like that.
Yeah.
If it's an unregistered property.
Yeah.
And then the practical things like arranging a funeral. If you have any preferences, either express those in your will or leave a letter for your loved ones. It's quite helpful, we've found, haven't we, that if clients have been given some direction, because there is an awful lot of decisions to be made when someone passes away.
Yeah, as you say, planning the funeral itself is that there's so many questions, and this, would they prefer this, prefer that? So any guidance on that, I think, is useful, or just a discussion with your family in advance. As you say, the power of attorney comes to an end, the executors take over, but the families normally are very, very involved in the funeral. And as I say, the other practical side of it is thinking about those other day-to-day life things, what's happening financially, where's the money coming in, what needs to be paid out. Things like utility bills and things like that, they're not going to be cut off if somebody's not paid a bill. But you might want to think more about what's happening with the car finance, for example. I'm not sure what the answer would be on that, but there are some practical things to bear in mind.
And of course, if they need any assistance, they can give us a call.
Yeah, most definitely. The estate administration is something that we have experienced in, and that comes hand in hand because we've had these conversations with our clients in advance and helped them prepare for that situation.
Because our advice is the earlier they plan and the more thought they put into planning their end of life, usually the cheaper and the quicker the administration of the estate is.
It is, and it's also, smoother for the family that are left.
Yeah.
If things are left in a good order, or the family know who to come and talk to and so forth.
Yeah, so knowing who those trusted advisors are, whether it's an accountant, a solicitor, a financial advisor.
It quite often will be all three of those.
Yeah,